Hello guys, and this is my unboxing of the new Mac Studio and Studio Display. Okay, so guys, I got the new Mac Studio. I got the Mac Studio and the Mac Studio Display. Mac Studio is for my dad, so I'm gonna unbox it for him. And yeah, so open the Mac Studio up. So packaging looks really nice. It looks very similar to like the Studio Display packaging, which I also have. This Studio Display is gonna be my display that I'm gonna use with my 2021 MacBook Pro. Okay, let's see. Apple boxes used to be nice. Okay, so you got a little pamphlet with all your documentation stuff, blah blah blah, and if we push these two flaps, we can now get the chunky. This is impressions of the weight. It's very chunky. The Mac Studio, very big, as you can see over here. Very chunky. Packaging is very similar to the Studio Display. And you also get a little power cord cable for putting into the power port of the Mac Studio. Let's open up. Let's open up the wrapping. Oh, this is made of a nice metal finish. Very nice metal finish for the Mac Studio. We have here for stickers. Oh, we have the Apple black sticker over here. So these are exclusive to Apple's Pro products. So I got two of these stickers from the 2021 MacBook Pro. So yeah. Anyways, so let's open up the Studio Display. God, this is a big display right here. Okay. Oh. And there's a pull tab right here, so you can just. Oh, jeez. God. You should, my Studio Display. Okay, so, let's get this out of here. God, this is really hard to get out, guys. Okay, this is very similar to the 2021 24-inch iMac unboxing. As you can see here, this is the inside here, and same thing with the Mac Studio. You have these two pull tabs where you can push these two things through, and probably. Oh, what the hell is this gunking? I got this thing was from Costco, so it was like $100 off of this thing. Jeez, God. The Studio Display you have right here. Let's guys open that up. There it is. It says Studio Display in the front, and wow, that was the most satisfying unboxing ever done, because the new iPhones really don't have plastic anymore, so you can't have that nice plastic feel, but it was pretty nice. So I'm gonna hook this up. I'm gonna set this up with my MacBook Pro 14-inch, and I will test out this new thing for a bit of the night today, and I'll make impressions tomorrow, and I'll see how this display is really good for the Apple fanboy. Hello guys, and these are my impressions of the new Apple Studio Display. So guys, I've been using the Apple Studio Display for about 2 days, and there's a lot to say about it. So I've been using it for editing mostly, which I do with my 14-inch MacBook Pro M1. And the monitor before I had, which was a LG monitor, and that, like, it was like an LG Ergo 34-inch or something. It was a pretty good monitor, but I've been like searching for new monitors to upgrade because let's say the LG, that specs were starting to get a little old. And I know the Studio Display is not the most high-end monitor you can get, but it was the end way, or like the end of the maze for me, because the Studio Display is like the monitor that I really do love. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the design, the what it has, and is it a good display. So into the design of the Studio Display. So the design, when I have it on my desk, so it looks like really nice, beautiful, the most beautiful display ever. Like, you will not get a much beautiful display than any other displays. Like the build quality is this nice finish of aluminum and minimalism. If you are a minimalist like me, you will like this, because this, literally one cable, you put that into your MacBook Pro and that's it. You don't need an external power adapter, which most displays come with because they don't want to put it inside the actual display, but this Studio Display has a built-in power adapter. So yeah. And yeah, it looks really beautiful on my desk. And the screen, the bezels, they are not the thinnest. They're not the thin as Pro Display XDR, but they're like, have this very nice uniformity, which that is what I like. Because the LG display, that the bottom bezel, it would like have a very big bezel with the logo LG. Already the back of the display says LG. And so yeah, but it also had very thin bezels in the sides and the top, but I don't understand why they couldn't have done it thin bezels all around the screen. So this Studio Display, we not just talk about design, because this is advertised for the professionals in their studios, the Studio Display. Or if you put an S at the end of studio, it's pretty much studious, and studious means that that it means like studies. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, so the display, let's just talk about some specs it comes with and why people are getting mad about this. So the specs of the Studio Display, so it is a 27-inch 5K Retina display, which the 5K, when I've been using it, I've been noticing that my eyes, so I have glasses here, so I have a thing called myopia, and that's pretty common because it comes from generations of grandparents and stuff. It comes from, generations of family members, different family members. And so I have that issue. So with the 4K display, my LG Ergo 34-inch with the 4K display, that it would make my eyes it will make my eyes hurt a little bit. So I wouldn't like it that much, but yeah, I like this display a lot. The display's brightness is really high, so it's at like 600 nits of brightness. So that's like really good for like SDR content. And my MacBook Pro on SDR is 500 nits instead of the 1600 nits for the XDR display on the MacBook Pro 14-inch. So yeah, and this display also has 1 billion colors, Apple says. I'm not sure if that's true, but I hear that it is, the colors of the display is really good. And I haven't really watched any movies, so I can't tell myself that, but I did some color work, but it's mostly just tuning the exposure on my iPhone videos. So yeah, and this has P3 wide color, regular specs like the iPad Pro and pretty much every Apple device with a screen. So speaking about monitors rarely come with a built-in speaker and a screen. So this monitor comes with a built-in speaker that supports Dolby Atmos and also a webcam. 12 megapixel ultra wide 122 degrees field of view webcam. So this is this webcam, I have tried it. It's very nice. Like it has that. So my M1 iPad Pro and my iPad Mini 6 both have this feature, and this is like the feature that this center stage feature was not on Mac. So so now we have that center stage feature on built-in for the display, so we can use it with our Macs. But the quality, it's a little grainy, so Apple will release a software update. It's been pretty much a month now when these displays have released, so we'll see what they say about that. It probably could be a hardware issue or it could be a software issue. So yeah, moving on to the speakers. I have tried and they are amazing. See for yourself. Like, they're amazing. And so, speaking about the connectivity, which displays pretty much have to have connectivity to work with devices. So, one thing about the connectivity is Apple will lock down their stuff. So, they don't want you to use this display with any consoles, next-gen consoles like my Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S or the PS5. So this is not a multimedia console. So if you want this to be a multimedia console, do not use this. This will not work with any of your consoles, even if you use an HDMI to Thunderbolt adapter. It is not. Don't buy this. This is not a gaming display. And so, speaking about connectivity, so this monitor has a Thunderbolt port and 3 USB-C ports. So I used Thunderbolt port to connect that to my 14-inch MacBook Pro. And the 3 USB-C ports, I use one of them to have my SSD drive, which is a USB-C drive instead of a Thunderbolt drive, since I don't really care about the super fast speeds. I'm just fine with the good speeds my Samsung T7 Touch SSD has. This display is really advertised for the Mac Studio, but I don't really like the Mac Studio, so I just use my 14-inch MacBook Pro, which Apple says it also works with the 14-inch or 16-inch MacBook Pro or any Mac, that even Intel Macs with the Thunderbolt port. So the Thunderbolt port on the MacBook Pro 14-inch has 96 watt power USB-C delivery so that's good. Another thing about the Studio Display is about the integration with macOS. So with the macOS integration, so if I hit the brightness key on my Magic Keyboard, I can raise the brightness, or if I I can also lower the brightness with the lowering Magic brightness key. I can also raise the volume with the volume key on the Magic Keyboard or decrease the volume. So that, and also pretty much use the keys on the Magic Keyboard. It's great. There is literally no buttons. So the only way to turn off this display for good is to remove it from the power. You can't even remove the power cable, that's the thing. So if it does get ripped, it's ruined. I don't really have any cats or anything that's gonna bite this thing. I don't know, but it's probably gonna wear and tear after several years. But yeah, but Apple's cables are pretty good, so they're pretty high quality. So I really like that. Even though it doesn't have the buttons, it's still pretty good. And so speaking of that, the whole thing that's running all these the two new features, which is center stage, spatial audio, is the A13 chip. This display has a freaking literal processor, mobile processor. That was my iPhone 11. I had that for, I think, 2 years ago. That thing, that processor on this display. Amazing, but it's not really being used. I don't think the spatial audio is like, I don't really notice that as a feature, so I don't understand the point of that. That is an awesome, that it's pretty mind-blowing that we can have a literal we can have a literal chip in a display. Like my previous LG monitor didn't have a chip at all. And also, speaking of that, so for stand and tight tilt adjustability, the studio display, I mean, it's like if you get the base model standard one, you're not gonna get, like, you can't flip it vertically, so you can have that vertical looks for macOS, and you can't do tight adjustability. You can only tilt it up 25 degrees and tilt it down 5 degrees. So basically, it's not very ergo as my ergo monitor. But the problem with that monitor is trying to adjust like how like it goes up and move it around. It's really hard mechanism. It's not very smooth to move it around. It's not like a smooth experience, and it would I'd rather just keep it in that format, in that position, instead of having to move it all around. And so I prefer the tilt that this display has compared to that LG Ergo monitor. It's awesome, and conclusion of how I have been using it, it's like in my opinion about this display, this is like the best display. It's like for the fanboys. Look, I might be a little bit of acting like a fanboy, but I'm just saying that, like, does a display come with like a center stage camera? Does a display come with beautiful aluminum design? And does this display come with such good built-in speakers that they're close to my HomePod speakers? Yeah, that's right. So, if you are a display spec guy and you just are looking at this thing and then at an LG C1 OLED 4K 48 inches, such a long name. This is literally the nicest named studio display. Very nice for me to pronounce it. That TV, it's basically a TV, and people are just calling it a monitor, but it's really a TV. It's not even a monitor. So, and also, plus, like, you can't use it with like any MacBooks with that USB-C charging that it has. This is a nice screen size, 27 inches. I know people might say 32 inches, but 27 inches is a really good screen size for my desk setup. It may not be for you. You might have a giant desk and you can fit an entire TV if you want and still have tons of space. I don't know why you would have that. I think so. This display is not a bad display, and it's literally an iMac display, but it's in a monitor, so everyone can enjoy the beautiful resolution of those previous iMacs that used to be. So Apple actually discontinued the 27-inch iMac, which is kind of sad, because I thought they would add, because we have an iMac right downstairs ready for maybe an upgrade, but we sadly can't. I don't think there's going to be a new iMac. I might be wrong. In a year or so, maybe there might be the new M2 iMac system, something. But yeah, we wanted like a 27-inch iMac downstairs, but this thing, it's a good display, and I don't think it's bad. It's a great display, and I think I'll be using this as my main display for my setup. I think this is the last iteration of my setup. So I had before, in the first setup, I had in that corner all the way over there, I had like a small desk, and then I had this dumb Dell monitor hooked up to a PC, because I didn't really know what Macs were until I started the channel or something. And then I got this desk, and I got LG, and I got this nice monitor, and I got a Mac, and then it all works together. And then I finally reached to this setup. So yeah, it's been a lot of iterations for me between different setups. My recommendation, if you want the best specs on paper and you want a better deal than this display, like you can literally get, like, if you don't care if it's a TV, just buy the LG C1 OLED 48-inch, because it's going for like $1,000. So that's like $600 cheaper than this display. But although I got this display at $100 discount, so it's technically $1,500. So yeah. But if you want a good, you don't really care about 5K, you don't want this luxurious experience with your Mac, buy like a 4K simple display and have any screen size you want. But if you are like me, who likes this kind of stuff, then the Studio Display is right for you. But if you have a Windows PC, then this display is like pretty much worthless, because the only thing good about it with the Windows PC, it just has a 5K resolution. But like, what's the point of that? Like having a 5K like Windows, and you can't have that macOS integration. I hope you enjoyed my video, and bye.